Good morning, YouTube family and friends. Hope you had a better week than I did. Oh my God, what a week. Oh, today is Saturday, April 26, 2025, and this is my week 57 results of being back on Mounjaro while dealing with a host of medical issues. And then to add on top of it, I was involved in a car accident this past week. It was a hit and run while I was driving for Uber, and I had a rider in the backseat of my car. Oh boy, that was an experience that I'm still dealing with. Let's go ahead and start off with that. Okay, so it was Sunday night. No, Sunday the April 20th. It was Easter. It was, yeah. They start with, it was on Easter night. Now I had dinner with the family during the day, and as soon as everybody left the house, I went ahead and hopped in my car and started driving for Uber, and everything was going great. I had driven for almost 4 hours at the time. Everything was going great. I picked up this one guy down, and I was in I was stopped at a red light in the left turning lane, one car in front of me. Thankfully, I had left enough space in between me and the car in front of me because about maybe 4 or 5 seconds from being stopped at the red light, next thing you know, pow, right into the back of my brand new car. I have a 2025 Kia Sportage. I barely had it 2 months. And I got slammed into. After it happened, I asked my rider in the back, are you okay? Thankfully, we both had our seatbelts on, and the airbags did not deploy because I think it was out of stop. I think airbags only deploy if my car is driving more than 35 miles an hour. So since I was at a dead stop, I think that's why the airbags didn't deploy, thankfully. But no, he said he was okay, and so I went to my phone, and on the Uber app, I went in to call 911 from the Uber app because I had looked in the rearview mirror and I couldn't see. It was dark. This is like between 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and I couldn't see well into the vehicle that hit me. I could see them in the rearview mirror, but they were so close to me I couldn't tell. I think it was some type of truck or SUV or something like that. And my rider said it was red. He thought, but he wasn't sure. So I said, okay. I went ahead and looked down to my phone, got my phone, and dialed 911 from the Uber app. And yeah, as soon as I got the 911 dispatcher, started to talk to him, and they were asking if we need an ambulance or not. And I asked my rider again, it's like, do you need an ambulance? And he said no. And I said, I don't need one as well. I'm just shooken up right now. So I don't think we need any medical assistance at this time. So they're great. So after I talked to him a little bit, they asked for the description of the vehicle who hit me, and I looked up in the rearview mirror. They were gone. They had took off. I was like, you gotta be flipping kidding me. Oh, so and of course I was in the inner. I was thankfully when I got hit, I had gave myself enough space in between my car and car. So when I took a hit, I was thankful enough that I was able to keep my foot on the brake pedal, so my car didn't move up a whole lot. It moved up because it was a pretty big impact. The steep speed limit on that street there, I believe, is 35. I'm not positive on that at this time, but somewhere around there. But no, I got pushed up, but thankfully it came close, but I was able to not hit the car in front of me. So thank God, because if I would hit the car in front of me, then that would have been my fault, which is stupid how that works. It's like if you get hit and then you get pushed into the car in front of it after being hit, you hitting the car in front of it is your fault, which is stupid. But thankfully, no, I gave myself enough space in between the car in front of me and my car so I didn't get pushed into them. And of course, do you think they would stop and ask for assistance? Do you think anybody would have stopped, got out of their car, and see if I needed assistance? No, nobody stopped. Nobody came up to us and see if say that they saw it. There was tons of people in the area. Not one person asked if we needed assistance. Not one. But the new cars that came up behind me started to honk their horns when that light turned green. It's like, did you just not see what happened? You not see that my car is mashed in the back? Thankfully, it was drivable. It didn't go into, when the impact didn't force anything into my back tires. So it was drivable. My engine was fine. And 911 dispatcher said, are you blocking anything? It's like, yes, I'm blocking the turning lane at the intersection. And she's like, is your car drivable? It's like, yes. Can you move it? It's like, yes. So there was a restaurant right on the corner because it was Q Street and South 24th Street at that set of lights. And there's a restaurant right here next to us. And so I was able to pull into that restaurant and park and wait till the cops got there. So, yeah, thankfully the cops got there and he checked the restaurant. And thank God that restaurant had video surveillance that faced out into that intersection. So the cop came back out and told me that the surveillance caught it all and verified the events that I said happened. So the video surveillance showed that I was stopped at a red light and got whoever it was, I don't know if it was a guy or girl, smashed right into the back of my car, backed up, turned into that restaurant's parking lot, turned around and went back the other way. So that's why I didn't see him take off because he didn't go around me or anything like that. They took off back the other way. So there's three possibilities. One, they don't have insurance or they don't have the plate. They didn't have the vehicle plated. Two, that they were drunk or anything, and maybe they just weren't paying attention. Or three, it's a big Hispanic area. It's known as Little Mexico there in that area, and my passenger was Hispanic, but he spoke good English, thankfully. So that's your three options. They were either uninsured or not. Vehicle wasn't plated. They were drunk or distracted, or they were an illegal. So I don't know. It's like I don't have anything to say about that part. I don't know. Uh, I was so shaken up. Of course, it was a little chilly outside. I didn't have a jacket, but I was standing out there, no, just waiting for the cop to do his report and talking to a cop every once in a while. I was shaking so bad. I don't know if I was shaking because I was rattled so much, or it was the fact that it was a little cold out and I didn't have a jacket or anything because I was just driving in my car. So the police took a report. I didn't even think to ask the cop if there was plates on the car, if they got the license plate or not. I didn't even think. I was so shaken up. I didn't even think about that. But thankfully, I talked to Uber as well, and they were able to get my rider another Uber to come pick him up to take him on his way. Thankfully he wasn't hurting. He was so nice. I was so appreciative of that rider. He even gave me $50 bill when his Uber ride got there to take him to where he was going. He's like, no, here you go. No, I appreciate you do what you do, and here, this is for you. And I was so appreciative. I thought he gave me a $20 bill, so I just grabbed. I thanked him. So I really appreciate it and stuck it in my pocket. I didn't realize until I got home later that night that he gave me a $50 bill. It's like, oh, that was so nice of him. I was so appreciative of him. Because I told him, no, this is a brand new car. You can tell it's a brand new car, and no, he felt so bad for me. So, but anyway, so I went and tried to pull a police report online because I want a copy of it, and they said wait 5 days. Well, yesterday was Friday night. I waited until Friday night to go online again, and it still wasn't available because this video surveillance is supposed to be part of the report to verify what happened. So, but anyway, let me tell you something. No, when you're a driver for Uber or rideshare company, you're on their insurance policy, but you should, depending on your state, the state of Iowa, which is where I live, requires you to have an addendum policy on your auto insurance as well. But thank God I had that because I tell you what, Uber insurance is a joke. They just do a bare minimum of what they have to do. I did not know that. So Monday, I talked to Uber's insurance, which is Farmers Insurance, and she was going over everything. And she had recorded the call, and so it took my statement of what happened. And then after that, she ended the call, and then we got into the policy. They have no car rental policy, so they do not cover car rental if your car is damaged enough where you can't drive it. And they expect the drivers to pay a $2,500 deductible. It's like, are you flipping kidding me? I was dumbfounded. It's like, what? Then she asked if I had any additional insurance for rideshare drivers on my personal policy, and I told her I did, but I didn't think I would have to use my insurance because no, I was on a job for Uber, and their insurance should cover. I shouldn't have to run it through my insurance, especially since it was a hit and run. And she's like, well, this is really more of a secondary insurance to your insurance. So if you didn't have, so if I didn't have the addendum policy, because my regular car insurance would not cover my car when I'm driving for Uber, because I'm a contractor, and when I'm on the clock for Uber, that vehicle is technically a company vehicle. It's not a personal vehicle at that time, so my regular car insurance would not cover it. But thank God I had the addendum policy, and so Tuesday I got a call back from my insurance company and for the department that handles the rideshare coverage part of it. And thank God the collision section of that addendum policy for rideshare drivers covers it. They only have a $500 deductible. So instead of having to pay $2,500, I only have to pay $500. So $500 is $500. That's a Friday night and Saturday night worth of driving that I'm out, unless they can catch the mother effer who hit me. I'm going to sue their ass. I don't care if they don't have insurance. I'm suing their ass if they catch the person who did it. But positive note, my insurance policy has car rental insurance. They cover $50 up to $50 a day, maximum out of pocket of $1,500. So right now I have a car rental. I can't use this rental to drive Uber because that's just a regular rental. I have this until next Friday because Uber Uber does have a rental program that they run through with Avis. And so I am getting a car rental through Avis through the Uber program, but they did not have one available until May 1st. So I got my regular rental that I just use to drive around in until I get my rental through Avis through Uber account. So, and that vehicle I can use to drive Uber for. So I'm out income. No, I couldn't drive all this week, and I can't drive all next week until Thursday the 1st when I pick up that Uber rental. So I'm out that income. Kicker is I had a secondary insurance policy with Uber. It's for injury accident insurance. So I pay like 0.4 cents a mile on the miles I drive when I'm on a job for Uber for this insurance, and it's supposed to pay me when I miss work. Well, the kicker to that is it don't kick in until after day 7 of missed work. So all this week, I stayed home from my main job also all this last week because I'm dealing with the whiplash effect. I saw the doctor, and my doctor said yes. I'm dealing with the side effects of whiplash. I'm also dealing with stress and anxiety. She gave me a medication for anxiety, and that also makes me drowsy, so it kind of helps me sleep because I'm not sleeping well at all because of just the stress and anxiety of all of it. But they can't do nothing for the whiplash. She said the side effects of the whiplash can last anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks roughly. There's really no timetable on it. So thankfully my neck really doesn't hurt a whole lot, but it's still stiff. And so I got a message. I sent a message to my primary doctor yesterday, Friday, to ask her. Of course, she has Fridays off. She doesn't work on Fridays, so I won't hear anything till Monday. Ask her if I should go ahead and see a chiropractor to kind of deal with the stiffness, and because I'm still dealing with the headaches. But the headaches could be just stress related or a combination of stress related and the whiplash. Because I was like, when we got smacked, my head went back and everything. And thankfully, because I have this Inspire device implanted in me for sleep apnea, that it's still in the healing process. And I'm not scheduled to get it actually turned on until next Friday, May 2nd. And thankfully, I had a follow up already on the calendar Wednesday afternoon just to see how it's all healing and everything. So it's a 6-week healing for this. And I told the doctor about the accident, and he checked it all out, and he said, doesn't look like the whiplash, my head going back and forth from the hit. affected this. Thankfully, it's still anchored. This has the device wrapped around the nerve is anchored, and the battery pack that's implanted here is also it's secured. So it didn't the whiplash of the accident didn't affect this, and he said I'm good to proceed with getting my remote control next Friday and getting it turned on so I can start using it. So, but thought I'd tell you that insurance. What a joke! What a joke! it, I think I should be able to go back to my main job, work on Monday. I'm hoping, unless these headaches don't subside. The more I think about, the more stress I get, bigger the headache is. But when I drive, no, I've had to drive to doctor's appointments. I had to drive to the store the last few days, and my headaches are getting worse when I'm driving. So I don't know if I will be able to drive. So I might call the doctor on Monday and set up another appointment with her, because I was there to see her on another issue for my leg swelling for when I'm driving Uber, sitting down for long periods of time. That's what my appointment was initially for. But since I was there to see her, I told her about the accident, and she checked my neck out, and she felt it and didn't seem anything out of whack, thankfully. But no, that's when she diagnosed me with the anxiety and stress and whiplash and gave me medication. So, but if I want anything official for FMLA, if I was going to miss any more work from my main job, no, I would need to have FMLA filled out. So, but I don't know if I'd be able to drive Uber right now, especially if I continue to drive around and get headaches. I don't know if I can drive for hours on end. So I don't know if that would qualify for me, because just not having a car is that accident policy with Uber to pay for missing work does not cover me not having a vehicle right now to drive. It's only if the doctor says I can't drive right now. So I might ask the doctor to be officially seen for the accident, see if she'll refer me to a chiropractor if she feels necessary, and then ask her if she feels like maybe I should not drive for long periods of time right now until I'm recovered. And if that's the case, no, as through Sunday of this week, no, that's the 7 days that I won't be covered for this insurance policy. But starting on Monday, every day I miss work driving Uber, I might be able to get paid for. But they sent me an email. There's a long list of crap that they want filled out and need in order. They even want past medical records. Is it really worth it to get maybe a week's worth of pay from them? No. No, I was averaging this last month probably $1,100 a week. So is it worth all this hassle of getting everything that they want to have a chance at recouping maybe a week's worth of pay if I can't drive? Well, I pick up a rental car on Thursday, so it'll technically be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for 3 days. Is it really worth that headache and hassle? I don't know. We'll see how I feel come Sunday and maybe Monday if I'm still dealing with this headache. Or if the headache is still bad enough where I can't work my main job, then maybe it'll be worth it. So then I maybe recoup some of the income from my main job. So even though I got tons of sick leave from my main job, so I'm not missing out on pay, but I'm using my sick leave, which could be used in a future day for something else. So technically I am losing something. So we'll see. Okay, I'm sorry. This video is 19 minutes long already, so I didn't mean to talk that whole time about the car accident, but it really affected my week this week. Okay, I want to talk real quick about I saw the neurologist for my autoimmune disease, my generalized myasthenia gravis, on Monday, and he's happy with my progress. He did not increase my steroid. He actually says I'm improving a little bit, which I was kind of shocked. But and physical therapy. Right after I saw a doctor, I went to their physical therapy to do some more testing, and the test that they had me do, stand up and sit down, 5 times in a row, see how fast I can do that, see if I need any assistance to do it. I actually got better from 4 months ago when they last tested me, so that improved. They had me walk around for 6 minutes, and they measured how far I walked and how fast I walked, how far I could walk within a 6-minute time, and that improved too. So according to them, my symptoms for my generalized myasthenia gravis is actually improving. So that was a shocker to me. But I think it's just because I thought it was getting worse, because right after surgery it got worse. But I did tell them that I felt like I was getting better. I was improving from the surgery. From that first week of having surgery, my body was overworked dealing with trying to heal from the surgery of this device, and that's what flared up the symptoms. And then, now that the healing is almost completed, my body's settling back down and it's getting better. So he did reduce my steroid down even more. I'm no longer taking that steroid on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I was at the lowest dose of 2.5 milligrams, so I'm off of that totally on those 4 days. I am still taking 20 milligrams on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So, but I could feel this week. I don't know if it's the stress from the accident or whatnot, but there was days where I could really feel it. I feel the droopiness in my eyes. So, but other than that, it's been okay. We'll see how it continues. So I didn't take a steroid today, so we'll see going forward the effect of not taking a steroid on 4 days out of the week. So, but other than that, yeah, that was a positive doctor's visit. Uh, for my primary visit with my primary doctor Wednesday morning. Outside of her checking me out for the accident while I was there, I was mainly there for leg swelling, and so she checked it out. She saw that my varicose veins on my legs is getting worse, so out of precaution, she had me go to get an ultrasound on my legs to make sure there's no blood clots, especially since I just had surgery a month ago. And since I had surgery a month ago and my varicose veins getting worse on my legs, she just being overly cautious. We didn't think it would be anything with it. We didn't think I had any blood clots, but we just wanted to be positive. And so I had the ultrasound done on Thursday morning, and it came back fine. I have no blood clots in my legs, so the swelling is just happening because I'm sitting in one place for too long driving. So she said once I start to drive again for hours on end, I need to start wearing compression socks. I need if I get a break from driving throughout the night, uh, I need to get out of the car and stand up and move around a little bit, which sometimes I can't, especially if I'm at a stop where I'm waiting for someone to come out to the car. I can step out of the car, stand up, get out of that seated position, get the blood flowing with my legs, and then I can reduce the salt intake. So that's pretty much all I told I don't want to wear compression socks. I hate having stuff up to my calves. I don't like that feeling. So she said it's up to me. There's She don't see any danger to having the swelling. As long as it's going away. Once I get home, go to bed, and wake up the next day, it's gone, and that's what's happening. So she said it's my call on the compression socks, but she highly recommends it. So we'll see. Once I'm able to start driving Uber again, I'm driving for hours on end. We'll see what I do. So yeah. Other than that, I said ENT doctor Wednesday afternoon, and he gave me a good clean bill of health for the healing of this, and so I'm able to proceed. So, all right, that's enough of the medical updates for you folks. So, I'm going to take my Mounjaro real quick. I'm also going to test my blood. I don't know if I'll test the blood or not. We'll see after I take it. So, if you've never seen someone take a Mounjaro shot, it has a cap. I haven't shown this in my last few videos, so I want to show it this week. There's that needle. You can see a little drippage of medicine. I'm going to unlock it. You can do it in your fatty part of your arm, your gut, or your thigh. I always do my gut. So I just showered, so it's all good. I'm clean. All right, here we go. See that needle go in and out. So it's good. It's that simple, folks. I'll check my blood for you on camera real quick before I end this video. Didn't check my blood last week, so I better check it this week. I am gaining weight. While I'm doing this, I'll talk. I stepped on a scale, 241. I gained another pound. So even the doctor's office had me at a 10-pound weight gain. Even though I don't have myself at that big of a weight gain, it's still. Last time I weighed myself at a doctor's office was in March, like end of March, and it was 238, and they weighed me at one office. I had 3 appointments. One office weighed me at 249, one at 248, one at 247. So they had me at a 9, 10, or 11 pound weight gain. Ouch. Good blood this week. So guys think I have anything yet today? Just woke up, showered, and started recording. Okay, not bad. 96. That's where it's been running. It's been running in the 80s and 90s, so no change there. So I'm gaining weight. Like I said, I'm at 241. That's a 1 pound weight gain. So that put me at +5. So 5 pound weight gain since I've been back on Mounjaro for the 57 weeks. But again, I'm dealing with this autoimmune disease. Last week I didn't understand because I wasn't hardly eating anything in the weight gain. But this week I kind of understand it because I've been so stressed out. I haven't been driving at night, so I've been at home watching TV, pigging out. So I understand the weight gain this week. So, but the other weeks I don't understand. Primary doctor did say part of the swelling could be that I need to drink more water because I told her my water intake has drastically gone down since I started driving Uber this past month or so because I don't want to have to pee a lot, especially when I'm driving 10, 11 hours on Friday night and Saturday nights. I can't stop. There's no breaks. It's just nonstop. It's that busy. The need for Uber drivers is that great. And so I drink as little water as possible starting in the afternoon so I can go the whole night without having to stop and pee. She's like, that's not good. If you're dehydrated, that can cause the swelling as well, which don't make sense. Like, okay, you're dehydrated, you don't have fluid, but yet there's fluid buildup. So, but anyway, that's what she told me. So I need to start drinking more water again. I need to get better at it. So, but all right, folks, that's the update for this week. I'm sorry, it's such a long video. We're almost at 27 minutes here. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you and appreciate you following my journey. And if you made it this far, please go ahead and hit that like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, if you made it this far, go ahead and hit subscribe. I do one video a week. Sometimes I do two, depending on what's going on. But mostly it's just one video a week. I do week updates on Saturdays. So yeah, we'll see. I get the device turned on next Friday, so I'll have one night of using it for the video for next Saturday. So we'll see how that goes. And I'll give you an update on this accident stuff, see if anything comes of it, if I'm able to go to work next week or not on either job. See if I go to my main job starting Monday. And I get the Uber rental next Thursday to see if I'm able to drive that or not. Well, it'll depend how I feel, how much I've recovered from the whiplash. So, all right. I'll end it there. Y'all have a great week. Remember to enjoy life to the fullest. Tell your loved ones you love them. You don't know what can happen. All right. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.